I was asked to speak today because several of my colleagues, including Reverend Nichols and Mrs. Dubriel and others, thought I might have something useful to say on the topic of romantic love. It seems that whenever I talk about Mrs. Molloy, it is evident to those around me that I am in love with her. I'm not completely sure why. I'm not quite so evident. I don't go out of my way to make this fact so obvious, but whatever I'm doing, the word is out. Other than that, I do not plan to talk much about my personal life with regard to romantic love, for fear that it would be potentially embarrassing for all of us. In fact, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, Molloy, romantic love. What is wrong with this? You're thinking, how long is it till lunch? You're thinking, my English teacher is the last person I want talking to me about words. Before I was your English teacher, I was a person. Sometimes, in my off hours, I am still a person. In high school, I was this person. Oneself from high school and one speaks in Catholic school. It also seems to have become the established mode in chapel reflections to grow somewhat confessional. So, this is the 1988 William Tennant High School yearbook. Do you know what you will find if you open the 1988 William Tennant High School yearbook? Pictures of more than 300 women who would not go out with me. Which brings me to the one story I will tell you about myself, because it does pertain to the young man in the photo. I first met Mrs. Molloy in the fall of 1988. It was probably October. I arrived at Muhlenberg College, interested in theater and music and singing, and I had grown very enamored of the music of Frank Sinatra, and I wanted to do all the great American standards and sing with a band and all that stuff. So I get there and I start telling people this is what I want to do, and they say, a couple of people said, oh, well, you should talk to Kristen Winiski, because she really does that. She sings with bands and does that kind of stuff, so you should talk to her. So I said, okay, well, I'll find out who she is. And I should say that when I found out who she was and I saw her, I said, this is not the kind of woman that a guy like me just walks up to and talks to. And she was intimidatingly beautiful. And if I did not have a reason to speak to her, I would just have kept off. You guys, you know what I'm talking about. You know about the intimidating. The ones who say, oh, she's really pretty, and somebody says, well, you should go talk to her, and you say, no. That'll never work. So I approached her. I said, hi, my name is Steve. I'm into Sinatra and band music, and I want to do this kind of thing, and these kinds of standards and jazz and stuff. And she fires off, and she's absolutely ridiculously intimidating and beautiful. And she fires off these questions to me. Well, what kind of work have you done? Do you have a book? And do you have your own arrangements? And do you work with a coach? And what bands have you sung with? And I said, well, I really like Frank Sinatra. And I didn't really talk to her again until 2003. We sort of knew who each other were in college, but we were friends, we were going to talk. And I went away, I did other stuff, I came back, and I was at Civic Theater in Allentown for an audition. She was there not to audition, but to look after the little child of a friend of hers who was auditioning. And I saw her, walked around the room, and I said, well, maybe it's time to try to talk to her again. And so we talked, and then we got something to eat, and then we talked on the phone a few times, and then we went out, and so here we are. So that's a nice story. But none of that makes me any kind of expert on this subject. So in an effort to get some multidisciplinary expertise on the subject of romantic love, I consulted some sophomore college students in various programs to see what light they could shed on a question like, what is romantic love? Is it real or something we've made up? What is its purpose in our world? How do we know when we have found it or when we are in it? So I started with a bio major. The bio major said that romantic love has everything to do with natural selection and propagation of the species. Mammals use sexual reproduction, they're genetically programmed for attraction. There was something about shoulder to waist ratios, and waist to hip ratios in women, and physical markers for health and fertility, and facial symmetry, and pheromone receptors, a lot of other stuff. I just because I stopped listening. The gist of it was that we filter and interpret our instinctive biological imperatives for reproduction. We understand them as love because that is good for our species. And I thought, well, thanks be to science. There's finally an explanation. But I thought, well, this does not account for love that lasts past that initial attraction and infatuation stage. So I went to a sociology major. And I asked the same question, and the sociology major said that romantic love is a social construct devised to help organize society into social units like families, that by advancing the idea of romantic love as a permanent union, as a lifelong interpersonal commitment, connecting it to marriage, early societies were able to organize around the idea of the family as the most basic social unit, that collections of families form communities, communities grow into cities and nations. With a similar basic structure, the ruling class is the citizenry, as the parents are the children. So romantic love got people under control as couples, as families, and provided a structure for relationships, the raising of children, the passage of wealth and property from one generation to another, and the organization of society at large. I thought, well, that's an even better story than the Bible gave. This is all starting to make sense to me. So now I knew how romantic love is good for society, but what does it do for the individual? And it took me a while to find a physics major. What I did, I asked about romantic love, and she started talking about bodies in motion, bodies at rest, friction. I didn't understand the words, but it didn't really seem appropriate for a chapel. I moved on to a psych major. The psych major said that romantic love is a manifestation of a personality attempting to fill perceived or intuitive gaps by combining with another personality, with complementary traits that we seek in others, what we believe we lack in ourselves. She said that romantic love is always ultimately doomed because it leads to codependency, and because our personalities have different gaps at different times. The same person can't possibly fill the same gaps at 60 that he or she did at 20. What both personalities must work toward is independence, self-actualization, and the completion of their own personalities instead of seeking completion in the other. This person will be somewhere at a table for one tonight. I found a math major who said, well, I don't really date. I found some poets and writers who were doing their best to capture in language the experience of being in love. The poets took about a page, the novelists about 400. Fortunately, there were plenty of literary critics and English teachers nearby to tell them how miserably they had failed. The English major I found said that romantic love is a 13th century literary creation, that romantic love is the most pervasive myth in Western culture. We've been so deeply indoctrinated into the romantic mythology that we have no awareness of the process of emotional programming that created our romantic responses. Popular culture teaches us how to fall in love. Movies and television, popular songs, novels, and magazines all train our feelings into this delusion of romance. He was still talking as I walked away. He's an English man would go to war willingly, to impress a woman or to avoid her. I talked finally to a religion major, a divinity student actually, who told me that romantic love, in fact all love that human beings feel, is but a foretaste of the world to come. That the love we experience in this life is a little sample of the love we will experience in heaven when we are with God. The human love is God's gift to us to prepare us for His all-encompassing and eternal love. I thought that sounded really nice. I said, that's it. That's the love we're all looking for. What do I have to do to get it? She said, you have to die. I understand the value of deferred gratification. We can make things go away. So anyway, I was hoping for something more consistent, more concrete from all these scholars and all these different areas of study. I did find that there is little agreement on what romantic love is, whether it is real or made up, how it affects or impacts our lives, whether it affects or impacts our lives, and what it really means. In that way, it is actually a lot like God. We have a lot of the same questions and disagreements about love that we have about God. And other than God, love is probably the subject to which we have devoted the most time and energy in our private lives and in our displays of art and literature. So when you hear God is love, remember what they have in common. In 10,000 years, we have not shut up about either one, and we still know absolutely nothing for certain. And yet, amidst all this uncertainty, people have a lot of advice for young people about love and romance. You've heard most of it. Don't get too serious. Play the field. Do people still say that? High school romances aren't meant to last. Just have fun and keep it light. You can't really know what you want yet. And my favorite, well, if it's meant to be, come on. Meant to be, yes, let's set aside the idea that we may have some responsibility for our lives and leave it up to meant to be. Well, maybe there is some wisdom in all of that. A lot of people have had a lot of experiences that they want you to learn, to try to spare you some heartaches, and that's nice of them. But like Bertrand Russell, the great 20th century philosopher from Great Britain, said, of all forms of caution, caution in love is perhaps the most fatal to true happiness. No one knows so much about this love thing that they should presume to advise you. Still, I want you to know that if someone claims that he or she loves you and then insults you, or chips away at your self-esteem with little criticisms or suggestions for your improvement, or breaks his or her promises to you, or tries to assert some kind of control over you, you do not have to put up with that. You have no obligation to people who treat you as optional. You deserve better. Walk away and move on. There is also no rule that says you can't be on your own. Like Dr. Phil says, you'd rather be healthy alone than sick with someone else. But like Winnie the Pooh says, it's much friendlier with two. And if you find someone who makes you feel like you are the person you could be at your very best, who actually sees you that way, if you find someone who shares your dreams but doesn't actually expect them all to come true, if you find someone who is always considerate of your feelings without neglecting his or her own, if you find someone who can tell you when you're wrong in private but always backs you up in public, if you find someone who makes your heart beat faster when he or she looks into your eyes, if you find someone who can free you to take a leap and always be the soft place where you land, and if you can do all of that to that person in return, well, I don't care if you're 17 or 75. You hang on to that. And finally, at the risk of revealing more than is safe, I can tell you that in my few romances, the love that I have given and the love that I have received is the only that has ever relieved the crushing, terrifying loneliness of this existence. And so to relieve your loneliness, I wish you much love.